it's not riskless to go against the government if they try to enforce these OFAC sanctions on Bitcoin, right? Like there's always a chance that you get caught somehow, right? And so, but the question is, what's the probability that you get caught, which is probably pretty low, but then what's the cost? And if the cost is really, really high, even if the probability is low, you might be, you might comply just because you're sort of nervous that that they'll find you, right? So the kind of the thing here is that they already have this regime. They like this regime. This is the primary tool of American foreign policy, really since the Obama administration. And so, the United States has jurisdiction over anybody who's mining, in the United States. So if they enact particular policies, they can, they can at least legally require people to behave in certain ways. But then, of course, the question is, as a practical matter, can they really do this? It might be easy to lean on, publicly traded companies because everybody knows who they are, and it shouldn't be difficult to identify if they're in compliance or not. But like I said, if you're just a home miner, how are they going to find you and see if and check your filters or something? It's going to be very difficult. Not to say that they wouldn't find ways to do that, but also the reason that we should take this seriously is that there are actual people out there who, are proposing like, hey, maybe we should have certain types of sanctions on Bitcoin. So maybe, we should not allow people to transact with particular Bitcoin addresses. But, when it comes to miners, it could be, okay, it's not just that you can't transact with certain addresses. If it comes to miners, like you can't allow transactions associated with this address into the block. And these are actual things that people have proposed. And so it's not unreasonable to think that the United States might not try to carry over these restrictions into Bitcoin. The main question, though, is that if they were to do that, can they actually redo it? Can they actually do it? Right. So, hence the title of the paper, right, is like sanctions and sanction resistant money. So the selling point of Bitcoin is that it's censorship resistant. And so sort of the question that we're asking is, given that people are already proposing trying to implement, similar sanctions using the Bitcoin network, is it truly censorship resistant, and can it withstand the might of the U.S. government?